Today is unique. It will be a one-of-a-kind experience for you, and I also want to say that it is, to my knowledge, the first time that we've attempted something like this in the Commonwealth. So it's a very exciting day. We're very glad you all are pioneers in this effort to try to bring groups of different faith together with conservationists to talk about how can we, how might we work together on issues around our water.
We open this Faith Summit and this gathering of the waters with songs and prayers and drums and hopes that come from the hearts of our various traditions. Often in a good effort to be kind and caring and make everyone comfortable in interfaith settings, we hide or trim or denude our authentic faith expressions. And in doing so, we sometimes hide and guard a bit of our true selves. Other times we work to create a setting in which some of us serve as gracious hosts, inviting others in as welcome guests. Neither of that is what we're after today. Today we seek to gather, all of us, in our fullness, neither hidden nor guarded, neither as hosts nor as guests, but as brothers and sisters in and on and of this land. We come with different languages and different beliefs and different traditions, but we nonetheless join together to celebrate and to worry about and to learn how we can and must work together to renew the gifts of this rare and blessed planet that we all call home. For we are not just its beneficiaries, and we are not just its children, but its stewards and its partners and its members who are called upon to manage it well so that we can thrive within it and hand it on to the generations yet to come. It is under the concerned and hopeful and watchful eyes of the Creator, the earth, and those yet to be that we do our sacred work today. Our opening song is by the Waters of Babylon, sung by the 8th graders of the Orchard House School.
The waters of Today, few of us live lives that are connected to the land. We buy food from grocery stores rather than grow it or purchase it from local farmers. We eat produce all year regardless of growing seasons. We choose cheap food over ethical farming and labor. Perhaps as we've lost touch with the rhythms of the earth, we have lost touch with that connection to the God who made it as well. We lament for the land that God has created.
By the waters of Babylon.
We are fortunate to have adequate water to meet our needs in Virginia. We have forgotten how dependent we are on water. It flows freely from our taps, keeps our lawns green and our food plentiful. Yet its accessibility has led us to take water for granted. This has led to a lack of care for the world's water supply and to a lack of connection between humanity and God. Water, this living, holy element through which God has saved and protected God's people throughout history, has become meaningless to us. We lament for the water that God has created. Creation care is also about caring for one another. Human beings are part of God's beloved creation. At the heart of creation care sits a human rights issue. Nearly every human struggle comes back to the earth in some way. Wars have been fought over land, oil, water, food, access to ports, or control of shipping routes. Infants, even whole tribes, die for lack of clean water. We cannot care for our fellow human beings without caring for the earth. We lament for all the humans, and especially for those who suffer due to the misuse of creation by those who choose to ignore the consequences of our wealthy lifestyle.
By the waters of Babylon.
Let us center ourselves. Let your mind be quiet, realizing the beauty of the world and the immense and boundless treasures that it holds in store. All that you have within you, all that your heart desires will surely come to you. All your crying and fever and reaching out of hands will make no difference. Do not recklessly spill the waters of your mind in this direction and in that, lest you become like a spring lost and dissipated in the desert. But draw them together into a little compass and hold them still, so still, and let them become clear, so liquid, so mirror-like. At last the mountains and sky shall glass themselves in peaceful beauty, and the antelope shall descend to drink and to gaze at her reflected image, and the lion to quench his thirst, and love with himself shall come and bend over and catch his own likeness in you.
And now for a centering song, we're going to start in unison, and then we're going to, as waters do merge and depart, the front half of the room here up will go with Al, and the back you'll go with me. We'll sing through it in unison 3 times first.
Evening, so
All who thirst, come to the water. Drink deeply of these living waters. Come all and gather in worship. We long for the living water that refreshes and gives life.
We seek justice and pray for peace. We pray for our waterways, fountain of life, refresh us. Cleansing spring, heal us. Well from which we drink and never thirst again, fill us.
Or to heal the world's waters. We pray for our elected officials. May they resolve to protect Virginia's natural resources. We pray for the researchers and scientists. May they continue to find innovative ways to restore our waters. We pray for our educators. May they continue to inspire everyone to care for the environment.
We pray for all present today. May we act with joy and compassion. May we all listen with open hearts and minds and acknowledge our role in restoring Virginia's living waters. We pray for the health of our rivers and streams, that they may run clear again. We pray for the Chesapeake Bay and the grasses, crabs, oysters, fish, and all lives that call her home.
Traditions and faiths, immerse us in healing rivers, refresh us in streams of joy, that we may become a sign of reconciliation and peace for the world. From different traditions and faiths.
On Shmini Atzeret, the Jewish holiday 3 weeks after the Hebrew calendar's New Year, Rosh Hashanah, it is customary for Jews around the world to chant the following prayer, which is actually a poem. It praises God as the deliverer of life-giving moisture to all of humanity and to all of nature. It is especially important in Israel, where rain only falls in the winter months. The poem was written by Rabbi Elazar HaKalil, who lived in ancient Israel in Tiberias, on the shores of the Sea of Galilee some 1,400 years ago. Translation is from Sefer Sim Shalom. Geshem, rain. Elohei v'Elohei Avotenu, our God and God of our ancestors. Remember Abraham, his heart poured out to you like water. You blessed him as a tree planted near water. You saved him when we went through fire and water. Ba'avura al timnat mayim. For Abraham's sake, do not withhold water. Remember Isaac, his birth foretold while angels drank cool water. At Moriah, his blood was almost spilled like water. In the desert, he dug deep to find springs of water. Basitko hon hashrat mayim. For Isaac's sake, grant the gift of water. Remember Jacob, who, with his staff, forded Jordan's water. Gallantly he showed his love beside a well of water. He struggled victoriously with a creature of fire and water. Ba'avru al timnat mayim. For Jacob's sake, do not withhold water. Remember Moses, whose basket rocked in reeds and water. In Midian he gave his sheep ample grass and water. He struck the rock, then the people drank sweet water. Basotko hon hashat mayim. For Moses' sake, grant the gift of water. Remember Aaron the priest, who immersed himself in water. On Yom Kippur he kept the rites with water. He read from the Torah and bathed himself in water. Ba'avuro al timnat mayim. For Aaron's sake, do not withhold water. Remember Israel's tribes. You brought them through water. Brackish marsh became for their sake sweet water. For you, their descendants' blood was spilled like water. Basadkam han hashat mayim. For all Israel's sake, grant the gift of water. She'atahu Adonai Eloheinu ma'ashiv haruach v'hamoid hagashem. You are Lord our God, who causes the wind to blow and the rain to fall. I also have a prayer from our Muslim community from the Quran. O God, send upon us helpful, wholesome, and healthy rain, beneficial, not harmful rain, now, not later. O God, provide water for your servants and your cattle. Spread out your mercy and resecure your dead land. It has rained by the bounty of God and his mercy.
Please join us in the singing of O Healing River from the activist community of the 60s and 70s.
The very word Hindu means water. Let me explain you. People outside India knew about the culture and civilization which we commonly call Hindus. However, the word was Sindhu, which means vast body of waters, a great big river system which was in Sanskrit language was called Sindhu. The Persians, who were the first people who came in contact with them, particularly during the time of Cyrus. In Avesta or Zoroastrian culture, S doesn't exist. Instead of S, they call H. So instead of calling Sindhu, they started calling Hindu. People living in the land became identified as Hindus. So what I'm saying that the very word Hindu means water. Water obviously had a tremendous importance in Hindu tradition. I will continue to use Hindu now, because sacred rivers, sacred tanks, oceans, they have always had a tremendous important place in culture and religion of Hindus. Earliest excavation of Harappa and Mohenjo-daro, which is about 3000 years BC, you see the ritual tanks. I'm going to recite few verses from the earliest Indo-European poetry, which is called Rig Veda. And these prayers extol the importance of water, the divine gift of life. Now this is in Sanskrit, which is akin to early Greek. And later on, I will translate that in English. Ambayo yanti adhvavi jamaya adhvariyatam panchati maduna paya ayuhya upasurye yamiva surya ta na evantu advaram apa devi uparaye yatra gav pivanti na sindubhya kartvam havi. Apasu anta amrutam apsu bheshajam apam uta prashastaye deva chavata vajina apsu me soma abravit anta vishwani bheshaji agnim cha vishwa shambhuvam apa vishwameshasi apa prunita bheshajam varutam tanve mama jokacha suryam rishe idam apa pravahat yat kincha duritam mayi yat ya shepe ut anrutam apa adya anu acharisham rasena sama agasmahi payaswan agne agahi tam ma sama ruja varchasa. It might sound to you Greek, but it is before Greek. So let me give you some sense of that in the language which everybody can understand. Protecting waters go on their ways through channels, and like kind woman of those who wish to raise the sacrifice, fill with honey and drinks for serving to gods. Two who work by law, promote law, or increase by law, and region of the sun fill all those waters to our sacrifice may proceed. There I call upon shining waters, where the sun's rays and the kind drink out of rivers and oceans, so that these produce for us plants and crops that serve us oblation for the sacrifice. In waters is the water of immortality that removes death. In waters are the medicines that destroy disease. And for the full praise of waters, may the shining ones be the lords of the sacrifice to reveal the knowledge about waters. For me, Soma, the lord of herbs, plants, and nourishing drinks, spoke of all the medicines and that are found in waters of Agni, heat, energy, or the electricity that brings peaceful prosperity to the world, and of waters that have medicinal properties in various ways. May waters be full of the choicest medicines for my body to live healthily and for long, and to make me have the sight of the sun. May waters carry away this whatever of sinful nature lies in me, or whatever I have done in violation of laws, or whatever unworthy has been done to the elders and those deserving respect, and that which is untruthful in me. While today I have enjoyed the waters or the actions, may we be in future similarly united in the body through which nourishing waters run. With these waters running in me in a harmonious and wholesome manner, and with their nourishing nature to me such as I am, come, O Agni, and make me a bright being through your brightness.
This is from Isaiah 41, 17, 20. And I don't know anyone that has ever read Isaiah that doesn't think is one of our wisest prophets, so this proves it. The poor and needy search for water, but there is none. Their tongues are parched with thirst, but I, the Lord, will answer them. I, the God of Israel, will not forsake them. I will make rivers flow on barren heights and springs within the valleys. I will turn the desert into pools of water and the parched ground into springs. I will put in the desert the cedar and the acacia, the myrtle and the olive. And I will set junipers in the wasteland, the fir and the cypress together, so that people may see and know, may consider and understand that the hand of the Lord has done this, that the Holy One of Israel has created it.
A Zen Buddhist parable. One Zen story tells of a man who wanted to cross the river to get to the other shore. There wasn't, however, a ferry or a bridge for him to use in making the crossing. The man saw two old men walking on the other shore and shouted to them, asking them how he could cross the river. One of the old men shouted back, "Why do you want to cross the river?" The man responded, "Because I want to get to the other shore." And the old man responded, "But you are already on the other shore."
There's a Hebrew word, mikveh, which means, it translates the gathering of the waters, but it is also the root of the word for hope. So there's a connection between the gathering of the waters and hope. Many of you have brought water with you today from all different parts of the Commonwealth of Virginia and beyond. And we want to gather those waters now, because it is in the gathering of the waters, the gathering of the faiths, and the gathering of all of you here that gives me hope. But we want to do this rather quickly. So as the musicians are singing, we want you to bring your water starting from the back of the room coming forward. So you have to just sort of make a wave of water coming up and putting your water in the front. They're going to sing a chant from the Native American tradition. Come, great Creator, come, life giver, come to this sacred place. Come with your water.
Come, great Creator, come, life giver, come to this sacred place. Come and be with us. Come, great Creator, come, life giver, come to this sacred place. Come and be with us.
sacred place. Come and be with us.
Bless these waters, bless these waters, bless these sacred waters. Bless these waters, bless these waters, bless these sacred waters. Bless these waters, bless these waters, bless these waters. Bless these waters, bless these waters, bless these sacred waters.
As we begin our day's journey, we move from lamentation to embracing the work of the future and our efforts together. A line from Psalms says, Vayigal kamay mishpat utztaka knachal eitan, which roughly translates, may we rejoice in the rush of small streams, singing on their way from the hills down into the valleys, making the rivers and our energies swell, and bringing forth the riches and treasures of the Chesapeake Bay.
We will just sing the sisters and brothers. This could go on for 20 minutes, but we won't.